What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with my all shade, Real Housewives of Potomac, season 6, episode 16 review. Monday I have a new battling breast cancer vlog dropping where I give you all the full details on why I don't need chemo. So make sure you guys tune into that Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay. Oh, and I will be doing reviews on this series finale of Insecure. This week I'll be doing it alone, but next week it'll be me and Monique that'll be doing them together. So I know you guys have missed her. She will be back on the channel as of next week. Okay, so in tonight's episode, the group returns to the house exhausted from the boat ride. Stovepipe and Brokey are back in the attic. So they went and slept in that hotel room for really nothing. But I really felt like they went to go sleep in that hotel room so they can have quiet time together. So they can have some romantic time alone so they can scissor in peace. I see you. Okay, so the caterer comes with the crab boy. They're gonna have a crab boy outside. Ray and Karen come down with their fedoras on, dancing, honey, grooving. They are happy and good spirits because they are celebrating their 25 years of being married. And it was just really cute just seeing them grooving and just in good spirits. Of course, Giselle was sitting there with it on her face. Everyone sits down outside to eat, and the table setting and atmosphere was absolutely stunningly gorgeous. I wish they would have had some heaters instead of the tiki torches, but other than that, it was beautiful seeing the sunset and the water. It was gorgeous. G, however, had to go back inside because it was too cold for his old ass, and I probably would have went back inside either because one thing I hate is cold food. And I want to enjoy my seafood. Ain't nothing worse than cold seafood. I want to go back inside and enjoy this in peace. So Karen tells them that when they get her wedding invitation to make sure that they open it outdoors. So they already knew some shit was about to go down. Ashley asks Eddie, has he talked to his mom since, revealing on the show last season that he doesn't talk to his mother. And he says that she actually popped up and called him a few weeks before, and that, the door is cracked for extended communication. So they try. So hopefully at the reunion, we'll get an update on where they are now. G comes back outside and, is joking around playing and was like, I'm glad to be here. There's so much shit I could be doing, especially sleeping or whatever. I didn't even trip off the fact of him making a joke about sleeping and equating it to Ashley sleeping on the ride home from the boat ride. I didn't even get that part. Like, it went over my head because I was like, okay. I just thought that he was being sarcastic or whatever. So Ashley ice grilled him like, really, motherfucker? And then a scholar, you hear her say in the background, you gonna keep saying sleeping and she gonna be so mad. So then here comes Stovepipe. I thought you apologized and now you're making sleeping jokes. And that's when it all came full circle to me. But I was like, that ain't even nothing to be tripping off of. Like I said last week, I felt like Ashley was doing team too much. Unless it was way more than what we saw. She was doing team too much. She was in her fifis. She was cranky. I don't know what was going on with her, but that was nothing to be that mad about. And I wouldn't even be mad about him saying, making a joke about sleeping now. It's like, come on now, people. So G was like, aren't we having fun? Ashley was like, you wouldn't let me sleep in the corner on the ride home. G act like he don't know what she talking about. He was like, what ride home? What van? Like, what are you talking about? He like totally fucking with her now. So she was like, what do you have, amnesia? You got Alzheimer's or however the fuck you said. And I was like, ooh, even Giselle was like, oh shit, why did you go there? I didn't appreciate that either. It was tasteless. You didn't have to go there. Like, come on now, Ashley, like stop. But like I said, Ashley had to perk the fuck up these last 2 episodes or 3 episodes and make sure that she get renewed for next season because she been real subdued the whole season. So she had to have her moment. And by moment, I don't know if you guys have heard about this new book that just came out titled Not All Diamonds and Rosé. It is a book about the story of the Real Housewives, and the author of the book interviewed all the women from all of the different Real Housewives franchises, as well as the producers, and as well as Andy Cohen. So they had a whole red carpet for this event this week, and I bought the book, of course, and I read the Potomac part of it, and Candace talks about telling um Wendy that she needs to have her moment. So let me find it for you guys. This was totally impromptu, me even bringing this part up. But it's a great read, especially if you want to know all the behind the scenes tea on what has happened from the beginning of these shows up until recently. Um, let's see. Where is it at? Hmm. Well, anywho, I can't find it right now. But basically, Candace tells or told Wendy that she needs to make sure that she has a moment on camera or whatever, something that's going to make her stand out and get her to be renewed for the following season. So when we see these people turning up and it's just like, where the fuck did this shit come from? Or just being extra and doing too much, they're having a moment. Um, damn, I want to find it for you guys. Oh, I found it. So Candace says one of the big pieces of advice I gave Wendy when we first met was about the importance of having a moment. Wendy says that advice really changed the game for me. Candice gave it to me right before I went on my first trip, the local one at Monique's house in Newburgh. She said, this is where things get hot. Just be prepared. And you haven't had your moment yet. This would be a good time to do that. And I said, what are you talking about? I've spoken up. She goes, yeah, you've said your opinion, but you haven't had a moment. Something where we all can say that was Wendy's moment. You need a moment. It was from that conversation that Dr. Wendy addressed me correctly was born. So these women make sure that they have that pop out moment, the moment that's going to make the trailer, the moment that people are going to be talking about the next day at work on the phone with their girlfriend. So they be searching for moments. We all knew that, but to know that like it's something that they seek out to do, I was like, child, that's why I can't do like a show like this, because even though it's reality, especially with the Real Housewives franchise, it's the most close to reality as you can get. But they still add 10 for ratings purposes to their personalities. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now let's get back to the review. So Mia was like, Ashley, that's not okay. And G was like, I was just playing. Mia was like, coming from a female who's married to an older man, that should never come out of your mouth. I agree. It shouldn't come out of her mouth, period. It wasn't even that deep. So Ashley was like, I would say it to you too. G was like, if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry about what I said. Well, G, you're old enough to know that's not an apology. Like, you can't say I'm sorry uh if I hurt your feelings. And I hate when somebody say, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, or I'm sorry if I made you feel some type of way. Ain't no if you did. If you didn't make me feel some type of way, if you didn't hurt my feelings, I wouldn't be saying anything to you. So that if needs to come out of that. It's I'm sorry, point blank and the period. And then for him to turn around and say, but I'm not sorry about what I said, then you're not sorry. Like, so that was a waste of breath. So Ashley was like, you don't need to add that part. G was like, it's the truth. So Wendy reminds Karen that she said that Ray wanted a woman to jump out the cake, and well, she gonna be that woman to jump out the cake. And so they got this cardboard cake for her to jump out, and her and Eddie help her get into it. So Ashley and Mia go back and forth about um her saying that G had Alzheimer's and this, that, and the third. And Ashley was like, I know what I said. Mia was like, where is your husband? And Ashley was like, at home with my children. And Mia was like, you sure? And everybody was like, ooh, she got your ass, bitch. Because you was looking for a moment and she had us. So Ashley was like, yeah. And I was like, are you sure though? So Candace, however, is enjoying every moment of this foolery. She is enjoying the back and forth, honey, and she is loving the fact that Mia is giving it to Ashley. So G was like, Ashley, you need a hug. I was cracking up because I fucks with G. I fucks with G because G is a nigga. And he know how to get under your motherfucking skin. And she was like, I don't need no hug from you. If anybody, I'll get a hug from me, Robin. And then Mia was like, she needs dick, a big black dick. Try it. And I was like, ooh, child. I don't even think Ashley heard her say that because it was the truth, especially now that we know her and Michael hadn't even been fucking. I was like, girl, that would have really killed her. So me and her confession was like, girl, again, we're on a couples trip. Why haven't I met your husband? Are you embarrassed by him? No, it ain't she embarrassed by him. He don't want to be around none of these motherfuckers. He don't like nobody. He just want to be with his boo Juan, his boo thing, Juanita. So Wendy and Eddie bring Karen out in the cake, and she walks herself out, child. It wasn't rolled on some wheels or nothing, so everybody knew it was Karen underneath there. But she popped out the cake. It was a cute moment for her and Ray or whatever. Um, Wendy thinks that she did a great job hosting the trip, but Brokey, of course, gives her a -5. And I was like, girl, you host the trip. Have you ever even hosted a trip? You and Stovepipe Legs set up here and had a whole event in a driveway next to some trash cans and strewn about wood and shit and pipes and shit. Girl, shut up. So the girls get their invitation 2 days after the trip to Karen's vow renewal. And everybody is scared because there's something on the inside. They find out that thing on the inside were actually butterflies. Some of them died, some of them lived. I was like, she told y'all to open it up outside. Why would y'all open it up in the house? That don't make no sense. Um, I didn't really like it. I don't like shit like that. That was just too much for me. Ugh. Mia and G end up discussing her mama and the incident that happened. So come to find out, after the couples trip, G decided to take her on a staycation for their anniversary, and Mia mama kept on calling her. G said he finally answered and was like, why do you keep bothering her? Why can't you just figure it out? And she responded, G, these are your kids, and hung up. Child cheese. So Mia was like, she couldn't her mother couldn't decide what to feed the kids, and I guess she got really frustrated with that or something and was overwhelmed. So after 2 hours of leaving to go on this vacation, she had to turn around and come right back home. I wouldn't even ask her to watch them for longer after being gone already for 2.5 days. I wouldn't even ask her to, can you watch them for a few more days? No, I wouldn't even. I would have had somebody else set up or ask somebody else or something like that. I just wouldn't have did it, especially since this was her first time back watching the kids. But once you seen she even started calling you like that, I would just been like, babe, let's just have dinner real quick and let's return back home. This just wasn't a good idea. So they said that when they got back home, G and her mother end up going at it. He was like, no, we didn't go at it. I stood there and I took it all while she was going off on me. And I told her, I'm grown. You cannot talk to me like that. So she said that her mother ended up storming out or whatever. And she was like, that her and G made sure that they didn't, argue back with her mother in front of the kids because that's not what they do or whatever. And it was sad to see because you could tell Mia was very sad about that because they had made progress and now they've gone back to square one. But I felt like they were just doing too much too soon with her, and especially when Mia had already told us that the mama don't be helping her with her kids, but she helps her sister with hers. So you could already see that there's this dynamic between them that's kind of shaky or whatever. But I understand her feelings being hurt, especially with somebody like myself who's having issues with my mom. I understand where Mia is coming from. It was just an unfortunate situation, but I wouldn't be asking her to keep my kids no more. No, never. So Stovepipe and her kids, Delicious, Daffodil, and Diffuser, go pick out plants and flowers for her house child. And she asked how they would feel about her going out a little bit. And they was like, girl, you need to, because we don't want you to die alone, because girl, you are pretty lonely. And when your kids telling you you a lonely, miserable bitch, where is the lie? So when everybody else is calling her lonely child, your kids even said it. So ain't no lie there. So Stovepipe was like, you guys said that I'm emotionally unavailable and I don't want you to be that way. And so Delicious, the oldest one, speaks up and she was like, it's hard to look up to you or dad. It's hard to see what a marriage is actually like because we don't even remember you guys being married. So we've never really had that experience of knowing what a marriage looks like. And then based off how their marriage was, it don't seem like that would have been a good example, no way. So Stovepipe was like, it's okay to talk about how you feel. And Daffodil was like, well, you should lead by example. It's kind of like you're a vampire and you don't have any feelings. And so to once again, another season, hearing her kids say how cold her ass is, and she ain't changed nothing about it. Like she's just a cold-hearted snake. Look into his eyes. Uh-oh, girl, you're telling lies. So Stovepipe was like, accept that mommy. It's gonna do better. You said that last season before that when they read your ass. So then Diffuser was like, yeah, but it's been 50 years of struggle. Giselle on kids be lighting her ass up with the goddamn truth. At least they got some damn common sense, child. But it's sad that her kids see how fucked up she is. It's sad. They see that. That's basically what they saying. Like you got a fucked up way of behaving. So Ashley goes to therapy because she's struggling with being apart from the kids. Like she want to take them everywhere she go, and she says that Michael doesn't want to have sex with her, even though she's tried to put that thing out. You know what I'm saying? He don't want it, and I was like, he don't want it because he's getting it from Juanita. So the therapist was like, maybe he doesn't need that right now. She was like, he said that he doesn't, and the therapist was like, do you think that he's being faithful? And she was like, yes. Okay. She said that he cheated though around the same time postpartum with Dean, and this is like the same scenario again with Dylan, where she was a few months postpartum from having the baby, and he was, led astray or whatever. So she says that she doesn't remember how to be romantic and wants to feel more like her old self because she used to be very sexual and stuff, and she just want to get her mojo back or whatever. So Wendy and her mama are at a candle shoot for her candle line, and it was the pictures that we did see. They were very beautiful. All their skin just popped on the camera. Wendy, her mother, and her daughter. It just looked so pretty. Um, and we find out that Eddie has done her business plan and her finances for her home essential line for her. He just went ahead and did it on, his own. But I think that was always the plan in the first place. And she just added her not knowing shit as the storyline. So Wendy and her mama, during this photo shoot with a room full of photographers and all of these people get to discussing her putting her dreams aside to make her mama happy. I'm like, why are y'all having this conversation right now from these people? But I guess we filming a reality show. Let's get it cracking. So the mama was like, offended and doesn't have any regrets, however, of how she raised them. Wendy was like, mom has never, I realized after saying I'm sorry to my child that you have never said I'm sorry to me. And the mom was like, don't start that. I said I'm sorry. And Wendy was like, you never said that. And the mom was like, I'm about to call me an Uber and get out of here because you done pissed me the fuck off. Mama was mad, honey. Mama grabbed her purse and her shades and was like, fuck you and these goddamn whack ass candles. Fuck y'all. So they won win anyway. So Ashley checks into the Watergate Hotel suite that we find out Michael used to own the Watergate Hotel. Exactly how much money do Michael got? God damn it. I see why your ass staying with that sickly looking ass nigga. So she was like, I didn't even know if you would want to, come here because I know you used to own it or whatever. So she liked the candle Karen gave her, the 3-wick one to set the mood for her and Michael. And she changed it to her little cheetah print fitted dress or whatever. And he arrives and she got her Corona in hand. You know that bitch love a beer, that ghetto bitch. So that's her white side. That Corona is her white side, god damn it. So she tells him about the trip and how Chris was saying that he wishes they could move forward. Michael, of course, does not want to move forward at all. And he goes to say, I mean, if I get to spend time with Juan, why would I take a second to spend time with people I don't want to spend time with? I mean, Juan is more interesting. We get along. He's not playing games. He calls me back when I text him. You know what I'm saying? He sends me good morning texts with a smiley face emoji. He calls me beautiful. He holds me at night. We cuddle, we snuggle. I'm the big spoon. He's the little spoon. You know what I'm saying? He lets me get on top. I prefer him on top, but he lets me get on top. He takes me out. We go to lunch. He likes the same thing I like. You know what I'm saying? He really believed in our old restaurant called Oz. You know, he wants to have children. He wants to have a baby with me. We're going to have a family. He loves vacations. You know, he loves Crocodile Dundee. You know, we have a lot in common. And Ashley was like, okay, all right, enough of that shit. She did not want to hear him talk about his boo thing. And I was like, girl, you need to accept the fact that he is the main and you was the side child. So in her confessional, the producer was like, would you say Michael and Juan have a bromance? And they do a highlight of all of these reels of Juan and Michael. And remember last season on the season finale when he proposed to Brokey, and Michael was like, I'm gonna take you on a trip, and Juan was like, just us, just me and you. He was like, yeah. And I was like, you two bitches. I was like, y'all better go on y'all motherfucking couples trip together. So Ashley, and then they brought up him saying he wanted to suck Juan dick. And I was like, girl, he didn't suck that dick, child. That's why neither one of them come on the couples trip with they wives, because that's they alone time together. Duh. So Ashley in her confession was like, it's a natural friendship between Michael and Juan. Sure it is. So we then see Ashley blindfold Michael and straddle him with her stockings on, and it was just something I never needed to see again. My stomach went sour. I felt like I wanted to throw up. All I could think about is Dean, and that one day he gonna have to see this and explain this to the Board of Education, because he will be, you know, the chairman of it. And like, nobody got time for that. So then she lead him into the bedroom and he get to talk about all the buttons on the toilet. And I was like, girl, ugh. So then we see Stovepipe. She goes to see a therapist, child, about her unemotional ass feelings. And she tells the therapist that she want a man. She just don't want to have to answer the one. Giselle is full of shit. Giselle want a man. She can't keep a man because of her attitude and her ways. That's the issue. Girl, bye. So the therapist was like, you know, what message do you think you're communicating to your daughters about relationships? And she was like, probably not a good one. And the therapist says they're seeing their parents reconnect and not separate, and they're wondering what is love. Maybe you need to have an honest conversation about what you're going through. Let your walls down. And so she was like, you know, if that's what you're saying I need to do when it comes to my girls, I'm going to do it. But you said that same shit like 2 seasons ago and we ain't seen no change. Your kids are still saying the same shit about you. Okay, girl. So that's my review of Real Housewives of Potomac. Next week is the season finale. Then after that, we will have the reunion. I'm so excited. Can't wait. Of course, I'll be dressing up for reunion part 1. I got to decide what outfit I'm going to wear. Yeah, so let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you all so very much, and I will see you on the next review, and be on the lookout tonight for my Insecure review. Bye.